All right, welcome. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most important things you'll do as a notary in Virginia, the Jurat. Getting this right isn't just a good idea. It's absolutely essential for protecting the public and, of course, your own commission. So let's break down exactly what you need to know. So first things first, what in the world is a jurat? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a formal ceremony in miniature. You have a person standing in front of you, the notary, and they make a solemn vow, either an oath or an affirmation saying that everything in a document is true. Your job, your whole purpose right then is to witness that vow and watch them sign. This quote from the Virginia Notary Handbook just hits the nail on the head. You are not a rubber stamp. You are an official, impartial witness. You're basically the frontline defense against fraud. And every single jurat you perform either builds up that public trust or, frankly, it breaks it. Okay, so here's our game plan. We've just covered what a jurat is. Next, we're going to talk about the absolute golden rule. Then we'll walk through how to administer the oath properly, how to fill out that certificate without any mistakes, and finally, we'll wrap up with your final responsibilities. Let's do it.
Okay, let's get into the foundation of the whole act. This is the one rule, the one thing you can never, ever bend.
And here it is, the golden rule. The signer absolutely must personally appear before you and sign that document in your presence. This is not a suggestion, folks. It's the law. That physical presence, you actually seeing the pen hit the paper, is what gives the jurat all of its legal power. There are no exceptions, period. Now, this is probably the #1 point of confusion, so it's super important to get it right. How is a jurat different from an acknowledgement? Well, with an acknowledgement, somebody can sign a document at their kitchen table, then bring it to you and just say, yep, that's my signature. But with a jurat, no way. You have to witness the act of signing itself. So let's play this out. What happens if someone brings you a document for a jurat and it's, oops, already signed? It's simple. You just instruct them to sign it again, right there in front of you. The only signature that matters for a jurat is the one that you personally witnessed. Okay, now we get to the very heart of the jurat. This is the ceremony of truth, the moment you administer the oath or affirmation. This is where you formally witness the signer's vow. This whole ceremony really boils down to 3 very clear steps. First, you confirm their identity. Second, you give them a choice. And third, you administer the vow. Let's take a look at each one. Step 1, identification. You gotta know who you're dealing with. Unless you personally know the signer really well, Virginia law says you have to check an acceptable government-issued ID. And, this is key, it must be unexpired. We're talking about things like a driver's license, a passport, a military ID. You need to look at it carefully because if you get this part wrong, the whole notarization could be invalid. Step 2 is about offering a choice. The signer can take an oath, which is a vow that invokes a deity, or they can take an affirmation, which is a serious vow made on penalty of perjury, but without any religious reference. Under the law, they are completely equal. The choice is all about the signer's personal beliefs, not yours. Now, the great part is you don't have to make up the words on the spot. Virginia gives you this recommended script. You'll ask, do you solemnly swear, or do you solemnly affirm, just like it shows here. I'd really recommend memorizing this. Using the right legal language is a huge part of doing your job correctly. And here's another detail you can't miss. The signer's response has to be verbal. They need to actually say, I do or I swear out loud. A simple nod of the head just doesn't cut it. It's too ambiguous. And to really drive home how serious this is, it's strongly recommended that you have them raise their right hand. So, the oath's been taken, the document's been signed in front of you. Now it's your turn. Your next job is to meticulously fill out the jurat certificate. This piece of paper is your official record, your testimony that you followed the law to the letter. Virginia law is incredibly specific about what needs to be on this certificate. I want you to think of this as your 8-point checklist for a perfect, legally solid jurat. Every single one of these elements, from the location all the way down to your seal, has to be there, and it has to be accurate. There is zero room for error. Let's just zoom in on a few of the key parts. The venue? That's simple. It's where you are physically standing when you do the notarization. The notarial statement must have the magic words subscribed and sworn or affirmed. Your signature needs to be an exact match to the one on your commission. And your seal? Make sure it's clean, sharp, and doesn't cover up any of the text. All right, to wrap things up, let's go over just a few final responsibilities. Getting these right is crucial for protecting yourself, protecting the public, and protecting the integrity of that notary commission you worked so hard for. First up, let's talk about fees. As a traditional notary in Virginia, the law says you can charge for your services, but that charge cannot be more than $10 for each notarial act. The state sets this fee to make sure your services are accessible to the public and to prevent any overcharging. Next, a couple of really important reminders. A journal isn't legally required for traditional notaries, but it is highly recommended. Think of it as your best defense if your work is ever questioned. But what is required is that you avoid all conflicts of interest. You can never notarize your own signature, your spouse's, or any document where you would directly benefit. Doing that completely undermines your role as an impartial witness.
And this quote right here really gets to the heart of everything we've been talking about. When someone sees your notary seal on a document, they have the right to assume that you did your job correctly, lawfully, and in good faith. You are the guardian of that trust.
So, that leaves us with this one final thought. Your notary seal, it's not just an ink stamp, is it? It's a symbol of public trust. It's your bond. The real question is, with every single signature you witness and every oath you administer, are you prepared to uphold the profound responsibility that it represents?